Hi friends, welcome back to Mickey Singing Tips. Today, I'm going to show you a hack on how you can learn to play all of the minor and major chords on a guitar in 10 minutes, even if you've never had any formal instrument training and you've never held a guitar.
What?
This is part 6B of my 7-part series on how to cover a song. Last week in part A, I showed you how to learn to play the piano. I also covered some really basic music theory, including the letter names of the notes and how to build a major and minor chord using intervals or the spaces between the 3 notes. So you might want to go back and review that, and I'm going to link that video at the end. The reason that I think it's important to be able to accompany yourself on an instrument when you're covering a song is that when you hear a song on a record or on the radio, it's been produced. It has a lot of bells and whistles. And in order to really make the song your own, you have to strip away all that production and get down to the component parts, the lyrics, the melody, and the chord structure. And learning to play the chords on an instrument can be really helpful in that process. Plus, it's a lot more fun than just singing along to a karaoke track or doing the song a cappella.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
One note of caution before we begin. I'm going to show you this hack in 10 minutes, but as with any new skill, it's going to take practice and patience in order to really get good at it. So I don't want you to get discouraged if it doesn't click right away. You can go back and watch this video as many times as you like. And I know that this is a big ask, but I'm up for it, and I know that you are too. So go ahead and grab your guitar, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're in tune. I have a helpful mnemonic that will help you remember the letter names of the strings. Starting with the low E or the thickest string, it's going to be elephants and donkeys grow big ears. So you take the first letter of each of those words and you get E, A, D, G, B, A. Okay, I realize that this is an elephant and a dinosaur, and that dinosaurs don't have ears. But at least dinosaur starts with D, and it's slim pickings around here, so you get what you get and you don't get upset, okay? Then you're gonna grab a headstock tuner. I have a D'Addario here. You clip it on, and you make sure that it's tuned to 440 Hertz, which is universal standard tuning. And then you are going to tune each of the strings to those letter names. So I play my low E, and on this one, it shows you the letter name in the middle, and then you have to get 2 blue bars on the top and the bottom of the letter name. And if it's flat, it'll have red bars below the letter name. If it's sharp, it'll have red bars above the letter name. And then you tighten or loosen the tuning peg. And if you tighten the tuning peg, the pitch goes up. If you loosen the tuning peg, it goes down. So you adjust the string until it's tuned perfectly. And there are lots of different types of tuners. You can find other tutorials on each of those, I'm sure, to give you a little bit more of an explanation. I'm obviously not going to go super into that right now. Some quick guitar anatomy. You have your headstock up here, your body down here, and this is your neck. And these vertical bars going across the neck are your frets. As you travel along the string from the headstock to the body, each fret is going to raise the pitch by half a step. So on the bottom string, the low E, the open string is going to be E. And then half step up on fret number 1 is going to be F, then F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. So on and so forth for the rest of the strings. Today, I'm going to show you the E major chord and the A major chord and the E minor chord and the A minor chord. And I'm going to show you them in open position. And then I'm going to show you the bar chord versions, which allow you to take those same positions and to move them up. And each time you move them up a fret, you're transposing the chord up a half step. So just by learning these 4 hand positions, you're going to be able to play any major or minor chord on the guitar. Another quick little terminology thing, your fingers in guitar are numbered. Your pointer finger is number 1, your middle finger is number 2, ring fingers 3, and your pinkies 4. This is different than piano because you start with your thumb being 1 in piano. So this is always a little bit confusing for me because I have to do that calculation since I started on piano. So for purposes of this video today, I'm just going to actually use the names of the fingers and say pointer and middle finger, etc. So let's get started here with the E major chord. So in open position, you're going to take your pointer finger and you're going to place it on the 1st fret of the G string. So it looks like that. Then you're going to take your 3rd finger, your middle finger, and you're going to place it on the 2nd fret of your A string. And then you're going to stack your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. That's your E major chord. And in order to make that a bar chord, you're then going to take your pointer finger and you're going to use it as a bar. And essentially you're shortening the neck and you're shortening the string. And for each fret that you move in this direction, you're raising the pitch by half a step. So now you're going to use the same shape of chord to play E, but your pointer finger is occupied, being the bar. So now you're going to take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the G string. Take your 4th finger and place it on the 3rd fret of the A string and stack your pinky on the 3rd fret of the D string. And now you have an F chord. If you move this whole thing up 1 fret, you get an F sharp major, G major, G sharp major, A major, A sharp major, B major, C major. Very, very easy. Of course, it's going to take some practice, so when I say easy, I know it's not going to be easy right away, but once you get the hang of it, it makes switching from key to key so simple, which is something that you cannot do on any other instrument really, as far as I know. You can't just take the same hand position and suddenly be in a different key by moving it an inch one way or another. So now we have our E major bar chord. Now I'm going to show you how to make an E minor bar chord. So an E minor open chord is the same as an E major chord, but you just lift up your pointer finger. See? Major, minor. And then to create a bar chord, you're going to use that pointer finger to bar, and you're going to play using your 4th finger, you're going to be on the 3rd fret of your A string and the 3rd fret of your D string with your pinky. So you're moving the minor chord shape up half a step to get to F minor, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, A minor, A sharp minor, B minor, C minor. So now you can play major and minor chords in any key on the neck, but I'm going to give you a bonus bar chord shape, which is going to give you another option so that you don't have to go so far up the neck to get some of those chords. So the next chord I'm going to show you is A major. And this one is even easier to play in the open position than the E major. Essentially, you're just stacking 3 fingers, one on top of the other on the 2nd fret of their respective strings. So you're going to take your pointer finger and you're going to put it on the 2nd fret of your D string. Then you're going to stack your middle finger right above it on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then you're going to stack your ring finger right above that one on the 2nd fret of the B string. That's A major. And by now, you know the drill. You're going to take your pointer finger and use that to bar. And so now I'm going to have to use my pinky as well. So now I'm barring on the first fret with my pointer finger. I'm using my third finger, my middle finger. Sorry, I keep saying third. I'm thinking about piano. It's very confusing, I know.
Can't see it.
You're using your middle finger on your D string on the third fret, your ring finger on the third fret of G, and your pinky on the third fret of B. So you went from A major to A sharp major, then B major, C major, C sharp major, D major. So as you can see, these are the same chords that you were able to play using an E bar chord, but instead of being all the way up here on the neck, which can be a little bit uncomfortable, you can play them in a much more comfortable position. And now we're gonna get to our minor chords. So just like before, you were able to transition from an E major chord to an E minor chord by lowering the third degree of the chord by half a step. You're gonna do the same thing here. So you have your three fingers, and you are going to lower the note on the B string by half a step. So your third finger is gonna be on the second fret on the D string. Your fourth finger is gonna be on the second fret of the G string, and your pointer finger is going to be on the first fret of the B string. That's A minor. And then, in order to make the bar chord, you're gonna use your pointer finger and you're gonna move that shape up by half a step. So now, in order to get an A sharp minor chord, I'm barring with my pointer finger. I'm placing my third finger on the second fret of the B string, my pinky on the third fret of the G string, and my ring finger on the third fret of the D string. And then I can just go up the neck. And there you have it. In 10 minutes or less, you just learned how to play every major and minor chord on the guitar. So now let's apply our newfound skill to the same cover song that we were working on last week, Ed Sheeran's Perfect. The chords in the verse are G, E minor, C, and D. So I'm going to use the most convenient positions of the chords that we just learned. I'm going to use a E major bar chord on the third fret for my G. I'm going to use an open position E minor. And then I'm going to use an A major position bar chord on the third fret for my C. And I'm going to slide that up to the fifth fret for my D. And I'm just going to strum once on the downbeat in the beginning to keep it really simple. I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. And now when I get to the pre-chorus, I'm going to change up the strum pattern. So instead of just doing a downbeat, I'm going to start alternating between downstrokes and upstrokes, just to give it a little bit more movement. We were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. So that probably sounds pretty complicated to you newbies, but all I'm doing is, instead of just doing a downstroke, I'm doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And it's gonna take a little while to get the coordination of that into your body, especially when you're trying to sing and play at the same time. But I guarantee you, if you practice that for an hour, even if you're sitting and watching a television program, and you just do it mindlessly, it's gonna start to become so much easier and second nature. So let's try our chorus. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark Congratulations! You just learned how to play every major and minor chord on the guitar in less than 10 minutes. I hope that this was helpful. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below, and I promise you I will get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like button below and subscribe to this channel for more content every week. Next week, we will be finishing our 7-part series with the last installment of How to Cover a Song, and we'll be talking about how to perfect your performance. So please stay tuned for that, and until then, happy singing.